Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Smitty, back with another one, man. And as always, I'm excited to bring you this episode. This is another one of those episodes where it's like the notes was there, they wasn't there. And then it's like, you know what, we just going to cut the camera on and start talking. And sometimes those episodes for me are the best episodes because I can just get on here and just talk. You know, it's dope to plan out an episode and put pen to paper and be like, yeah, this is what we doing today. And sometimes it really don't go like that. Like that's just part of this podcast and life, part of having this platform. You can plan for something and it can go nothing like that, and it can still be beautiful, and you can still make magic. So here we are. We cut the cameras on. We hit record, and we're gonna make magic happen. But as I was trying to find a topic or discover what to talk about, because there's just so many different things in my life, and I'm like, should I talk about that one right now? You know, am I in the space to talk about that one or a couple of things right now? And I was like, all right, we're gonna say that for a later date. So the thing that came to my mind, though, is to fill y'all in on recent developments, right? So the other week, Thursday, I believe, last Thursday, I had a speaking engagement, right, at Keystone in Norwalk. You may have seen the flyer. It was on the gram, all of that. Y'all was engaging with it. I appreciate it. And for y'all who are unfamiliar with Keystone, Keystone is the organization that gave me my first ever chance to be a professional speaker. So they hold a little special place in my heart, man. Wonderful woman there. Her name is Michelle. She hit me up. She was like, we got another event coming this year. Let's make it happen. So not only were they the first ones to give me a chance, but they're the first ones to rebook me. So I'm doing something right here. And it was beautiful, man. Like to be back there, to see familiar faces from last time. They still cared. They still were excited to see me, still got the applause, still made the impact. And it was one of those ones where I didn't even feel fully prepared, but I went up there and I gave it everything I had and they loved it. And I'm like, all right, so clearly I'm doing something right. You know, when you get into that space where you don't necessarily feel that great about it, but everyone's eating it up, it's like, all right, I've ascended. I'm getting to a greater level at what I'm doing, and I'm proud of myself for that, man. You know, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm doing things I never thought I would do, especially public speaking, because I was that kid. If you called on me in class, I didn't want to say nothing. You feel me? And who got the answer, and we looking around the room, someone got an answer, or come up to the board and do the math problem on the board, don't call me. Like I don't want to be in front of nobody, and that fear was there, but now, you know, like they say, on the other side of fear is opportunity, man. And there's greatness on the other side of fear. And I'm pushing through all these barriers. I'm pushing through all these walls, and I'm really making something beautiful happen. And I love that for me, man. So keeping with that Keystone speaking engagement, I said something in that moment that's kind of going to lead into what we're doing here today. And I said that healing isn't linear. And if you're someone who's started a healing journey, is on your healing journey, wants to start, whatever it may be, healing is not linear. It has setbacks, it has peaks and valleys. There's road bumps in between. It's not one of those things where you just wake up, say I'm going to be better, and it's all smooth sailing from there. If it was that easy to just wake up, say I'm going to be better, and it's smooth after that, everybody would be perfect. And it just doesn't work that way. Everybody would start healing. Everybody would start growing. Everybody would start becoming the best versions of themselves, which is ultimately where I want everyone to get to. But sadly, not everybody gets there. Not everybody has that moment where it clicks in their mind. And more so, not everybody has that moment where they're like, I'm going to commit to it. Because like anything else in this life, healing is a commitment, you know, and it's a commitment to the process, and it's a commitment to yourself. Because if you don't commit to loving yourself the way you should, if you don't commit to standing up for yourself the way you should, if you don't commit to removing yourself from old circles and separating yourself from old patterns of behavior and really looking in at the role you play in the life that you have right now, the role you play in your own negative situations, you know, because a lot of times we like to look at the positive and it's like, yeah, I can make anything happen as long as I really try. But you're also making some of these negative things happen or perpetuating some of these negative things that are happening. So we got to look at our role in that as well in our lives. And if you're not ready to commit to all of that, then you're not really ready to heal. It's just, you just like the idea of it. And I've been there, it sound good. It feel good. It look good. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna heal. And then I don't do nothing, and keeping with that, when I was speaking at Keystone last year, I was someone who, and I said it to them then, I had a lifetime of experience, but not a lifetime of commitment to trying to be a better person and trying to really heal. I was up there and I'm speaking and I'm doing this podcast, but I had still not been in my adult life to see a therapist. And now, as you all know, I am in therapy, and it's the coolest thing ever. And being able to not just get myself there, but get people I know there is one of the dopest feelings ever. Like, I really feel like, yo, I did something. Like, if it stopped right now, I did what I had to do. And, so now I can really say that I'm a product of the product, and it works, it helps, and it's not linear. I've had ups and downs with that as well. But I was able to come back to Keystone and stand there that year or this year and be like, hey, listen, like, not only was I imploring y'all to be better, but I'm trying to be better too. And to continue to be that example, and not someone who's just getting up there talking to everybody like, you need to do this and you need to do that and you should be here and you should be doing that. And that's not me. If anything I'm telling you to do is something I have dealt with or currently deal with, or I'm trying to get through. Like, nothing I speak up here is coming from a lack of experience. And it's not ever me on a high horse saying you need to be doing this. And if you feel like I'm calling you out, it's because I called myself out first. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've had people hit me in the comments and the DMs like, oh, I felt like he was coming from my life. And I probably was, but like, I came from mine first. But, yeah, healing is not linear, man. And even recently, I've had a string of like just good days followed by a string of just really rough days, And there are moments where, it's very easy to want to go back to who I used to be, which is someone who is very self-reliant, someone who's hyper independent, someone who doesn't give other people the chance to help him, someone who's very closed off. There's just so many opportunities to go back to being that person, but I really fight to not be. And there's a lot of moments where depression starts to kick in, and it's easy to go back to being that person who just sleeps all day or isolates a lot and just doesn't want to be around anybody. And I struggle with that, man, because this isn't easy. Nothing in life is easy. If anything that you're pushing for, or that's your goal or your dream or your aspiration, none of it is easy. And with those peaks and valleys, you get tested mentally. And I feel like every day I wake up and I'm chasing an entrepreneurial life, I am tested every single day. And maybe that's where we'll spin this, maybe that's where we'll spin this. I told you, we're just going to cut the cameras on and go, because that's how we make masterpieces. But, with this life that I've been purposed to live, with this entrepreneurial endeavors that I find myself in, with being a platform podcast host, mental health advocate, professional speaker, all the above, man, there is so much that goes into being an entrepreneur, and not just being an entrepreneur, but being a full-time entrepreneur, going from side hustle to main business, and it's hard even having a side thing, but taking that side and making it your main is so difficult. And the part that they don't tell you, because it's glamorized in the media right now, it's been glamorized for the last couple of years, where it's like, hey, don't go buy that McChicken, take that $2 that you're saving, go get you an LLC. Then you put your LLC inside of a trust fund. Then you take that trust fund and buy a house. And then next thing you know, you sell your mom's home, move her in with you. Now you're saving money. And then you house hack upstairs and make it an Airbnb. And it's like, bro, what are we really doing here, dog? And it sound good. You feel me? Like, financial literacy is extremely important. An affluent lifestyle, wealth, money, all those different things. Like, it sound good, but really stepping into that and trying to make that happen for yourself to a higher level is ridiculously difficult because you have to become an expert in everything that you do. You know, you have to be proficient in everything that you do. You got like using myself as an example, I had to become proficient in sound and audio, video, lighting, set design, speaking, editing, all these different things. And it's rough doing that because not only are you learning these things, but you're critiquing yourself really hard because you want it to be amazing, and it sucks at first, and then it gets a little better, and then it sucks again, and now you're trying to find new ways to be creative, new ways to continue to gauge people, dealing with imposter syndrome, dealing with social media, because that's one of the hardest things on entrepreneurs, is because like you put your content out there and you live for the reaction because it's like, oh, okay, if they gravitate to it, I'm doing something right. And as we all know, that's not always the case with social media. Sometimes the algorithm is beating your ass. Sometimes people see it and they really love it and don't engage with it. Sometimes people are ghost followers, and sometimes people just be hating. Like there's so much that goes into it. They don't see your content gets suppressed. You got to pay to push your content out. It's a lot of people paying for checks now. Social media is a really strategic thing, and most of the growth you see people have on social media is not organic. And trying to be someone who is organic, it's a challenge, and I pride myself on that. One of the things I really committed to when I first started this platform is I'm doing everything organic. I'm not trying to ride a trend. I'm not trying to like use a trend in audio and make this happen. I'm not trying to like, and to my detriment, that may be hurting me in some ways, but I know the people that I have been able to gain as followers, the people I have been able to reach and impact, I know that they're sticking with me for a deeper reason than, oh yeah, this is entertaining. Oh yeah, this is, it was trendy and I kind of like it. It keeps my attention. No, like people who really engage with me on a deeper level. And I love that. Like in some way, shape or form, y'all have connected to me and I've connected with y'all and we locked in and that's amazing. But it's hard because you take a beating, bro, and you be like, man, this post gonna be the one, and you get like 10 likes, and it's like, man, okay, all right. So the mental side of that comes with it, and just wanting people to really enjoy what you're putting out, wanting people to consume your content, wanting people to engage with you and grow in that way, is the mental side of it is brutal. And then not only just the mental side of it, but the financial side of it, because you don't immediately see a return, or if you do see returns, a lot of times they're minimal. And there are a lot of platforms, some really famous platforms, where people really aren't making money like that, and they have the $4,000 cameras and the amazing lights and the sets and the producers and the themes and the editing and the videos and whoosh and that and all that other stuff, and like really ain't making no money. And if they do, it's minimal. And I'm blessed that like I do make money from speaking, but again, I'm not rolling in a Rolls Royce right now, but I don't even got a car right now, but it's coming. And so there's the financial piece to it, because you still have to continue to invest in this platform, because as many of y'all have known, before we cut these cameras on, like this room I'm sitting in didn't have walls. There was no shelves behind me. There was no walls. There was no lights in the ceiling. There was no outlet. Like it literally built all this table. I bought it from Habitat for Humanity. Had to go cop the Rodecaster Pro. My friends gifted me the mic. I had to buy the camera I'm looking into right now. I bought this camera over here. This is really, at this angle I'm looking at, this is a cell phone. That was paid off a while ago, and I kept it for this moment right here, so we can do this and get two angles, all of that. So it's a lot. You got to, and even if you're someone who's trying to get a office space, or you're trying to invest in merchandise and then flip that and sell it, there's a huge financial piece to it too. And especially if you're doing it full time and you want to do it correct, like you got to be financially smart because you can't just be out here wasting money on anything. And your pockets will hurt. And sometimes you're going to step into something and then you're going to have to scale it back. You're going to be like, yeah, man, I'm going to do this. And and you start it and it's working and it's helping. But then it's like, financially, it's not feasible. I can't continue to sustain that. And going back to another episode a while ago, sustainability is everything. So there's so much to this entrepreneurial life. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of what can I do to get better? How can I engage people? What can I do to get this one moment that I'm working so hard for? And I see it with my peers who are in this space, that entrepreneurial space, specifically my peers who are in this platform space, podcast space. Like, I see where we love this thing so much. It's that beautiful obsession with what we're doing and the effort to get in the rooms we need to get into, speak to the people we need to speak to, make the partnerships we need to make, learn the things we need to learn, get the deals we need to get to where we have to be. Like, it's just a beautiful obsession. And especially the ones who are jumping into this full time, like, I'm tremendously proud of my brothers and sisters in this space, man. Even if I don't say it often, like, I see y'all and I'm tremendously proud, because this ain't easy, especially this right here, because podcasting in general is still in a very uncharted space. It's in its infancy stage and there are a lot of podcasts that aren't necessarily podcasts. Like, a podcast in this, if we being technical about it, and I like to be technical, it's just the audio side of it. Like, that's podcasting. This here is a YouTube channel when we start adding video, and like, it's not that we started calling it video podcast, but really, like, you have a show. You feel me? Video podcast is downplaying it. Once you start throwing it on your YouTube channel, like, you have a show now. and there's production that goes into that. So you're doing two things at once, and you're creating a podcast. You're also creating a show. And that is a challenge. And then you have to be the producer, director, executive producer, all those different things at once. So this is a lifestyle that you really have to be committed to. You really have to be purposeful, because I'd be sad, bro. If I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, I'd be sad, man. And one of the beautiful things that gives me peace is when I really turn this microphone on and I sit here and I just start talking to y'all. It brings me so much peace and it brings me so much joy. But I'd be sad, yo, because it's like, dang, okay, another day, still not rich. Dang, how do I figure this out? Man, I got to go edit that. And sometimes, like, this labor of love really just becomes labor after a while. But you got to keep pushing through, because anything worth having is worth fighting for, and nothing that you really want is going to come easy. And if you know that it's your purpose, the enemy is going to fight against that, man. Like, he doesn't want you to reach purpose. He doesn't want you to step into what God really has for you. And I know I'm this close and there's some things in the works right now that I can't necessarily speak on. Like, I've been waiting to land this big fish and it's coming. I promise you it's coming. I said this years ago. I feel like I'm Connecticut's best kept secret, but we're going to elevate that word, the world's best kept secret. And we're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to grow. So if you're someone who's in this entrepreneurial space, shout out to you. Let's connect. Let's talk, man. Let's keep each other going, because we need that continued support. We need that continued push. And if you're someone who listens and you enjoy this platform, I love to hear feedback. Like, that really makes my day. So if you like an episode, let me know. If you disagree with something I said on an episode, let me know. Let's talk about it. And if you're proud of me, just tell me you're proud of me, man. If you love me, tell me you love me. If you want to get married, let me. But this is it, man. We're going to keep making this happen, and I can't stop, yo. It's a beautiful obsession. Like, I really can't see myself doing nothing else, and I'm having too much fun doing it, even with the ups and downs and the non-linear movement of it all, and I'm just enjoying it too much, and I'm making too big of an impact, yo. Like, I really am. And I can't stop, yo. I would be disappointed in myself if I ever did, man. And I've had people tell me, like, yo, don't stop. So I can't, man. And bringing it back to the beginning, because we're going to circle it all the way back, man. Understand that if you're on a healing journey, healing is not linear, and it takes a commitment to yourself first. And a lot of us, I really challenge y'all to make a commitment to yourself. You know, we make a lot of commitments to other things, but we don't commit to ourselves. We'll commit to do everything we can to show up to a friend's birthday party. We'll commit to do everything we can to make other people happy and people please. We'll commit to do everything we can to do the things that make us feel good, whether it's, you know, buying that piece of cake that you didn't need, or going to that club you ain't have to go to, or messing with that person you ain't need to mess with, or whatever it is. Like whatever makes you feel good, our pleasures in life, big or small, we commit to those things. But what we really got to commit to is commit to ourselves, because you deserve to love yourself better. You deserve to treat yourself better. You deserve to step into a space where love, respect, and integrity is the bare minimum. That's the floor, and you can continue to build upon that foundation. And you need to walk into a space where you feel safe. And if you can't feel safe within yourself by loving yourself first, anything else you build on top of that is not going to be safe. It's not going to be stable. And you got to commit to yourself first. And I pray that we all get to that, man. And again, if you're someone who's looking to start this healing journey, hit me up. And for the people who already have, thank you so much for trusting me with that, because that's a big step. Like, that's huge. That is huge. That is a big step to come out and say that. And also, we're putting together a resources highlight. Like, you know, on Instagram, they got highlights and all of that. A resources section is what we're looking to do. So if you're a therapist, if you're a speech and language pathologist, if you're any of them things, psychologist, psychiatrist, behavior analyst, whatever it is that you do, hit me, send me a headshot or a picture you're proud of. Send me your info, how to get in contact with you, where you're located, and we're going to put you in that highlight section. You know, we're going to make sure that you get seen. We're going to make sure that people can connect with you, because it's not always easy to reach out to me and, you know, let me know that you want help. You might want to do it discreetly. And if there's a list of people and resources right there that you can just go to my page and go see, and I don't even know you did it, and it's helping you, we need that, you know, because not everybody, and rightfully so and understandably so, like, not everybody wants me to know that or anybody else to know that. And you don't have to let people know that. But continue to love yourselves, continue to treat yourselves with respect, continue to set boundaries, continue to get better each and every day, and stop settling for the things that you used to settle in for. I want to, like, let's spend 10 seconds on that. Stop settling for the things you used to settle for. You deserve better. You need to be better. And if they're not going to meet that expectation, if they're not going to meet that requirement for you, if the situation ain't what y'all be saying, if it ain't giving what it's supposed to give, like if it's not aligned with your purpose, if God doesn't have that for you, if it don't sit right with your spirit, like, stop entertaining these things that you don't need to entertain, man. And stop settling for the things that you don't need to settle for. And if you choose to settle, I'm sorry. Like, you can't blame nobody but yourself. But all right, I'm leaving. I gotta go. I'm out. We gotta edit this. It's Tuesday. Memorial Day was yesterday. Should have been yesterday. We take holidays on this side. I love y'all. Peace. And until next time, yeah. All right. Bye.